All right, so we're just recording now, and we're talking a little bit about the idea of conflicting or competing values, where someone is maybe not at a physical weight that's optimal, so they're trying to lose weight, but they also have either a recreational need or a vocational need where they have to have high exercise or activity. And one of the biggest challenges with exercise based weight loss is the more you do it, the more exercise you add, the more biological hunger is created in your body. So physically, the more you exercise, the hungrier you get. And then psychologically, we have this justification muscle that happens in a millisecond that says, oh, I can have that because I deserve that because. And so all of that is one of the biggest things that why we have a challenge. And so I've been working with a number of personal trainers and the science of it all. I have a background in athletics. I'm also a licensed massage therapist and professional high level um, cycling and track and field and marathons. And so what I have found works for me, and I've been testing throughout about 3 years now, is you're able to supplement the 5-in-1 with one additional product, or it's just it's not even really a product. It's what's in it, branch chain amino acids. So I was just asking Charna about proteins are the building blocks of everything biological in the human body. Without protein, nothing grows. So that includes rebuilding muscle. That includes building muscle. That includes your skin. You know, most of the dust in your house is actually dead skin. But it's weird that I never actually, there's always skin on my arm. Even though it's dying and falling off, how come it's always still there? Well, because skin is constantly growing from the bottom up. Well, your stomach lining replaces itself every 3 days because there's all that acid rolling around in there and it eats through your stomach lining. So it's constantly rebuilding itself. I'm not talking about pumping iron or getting healthy or getting strong. I'm just talking about our biology is decaying and it's constantly being refreshed and renewed. And that happens only with protein, right? And so one of the challenges to being a vegetarian, if you understand what I just said, is getting protein, enough protein so that your body recovers. So the building blocks of protein are called amino acids. And when I was going to massage school, I had a guy. He was the A&P teacher, and this guy was like a savant. He was so like jacked up about the human body. I was my favorite classes ever. And he said, so let me explain how this works. And he just was like almost shaking. He was so excited about this stuff. And he says, if you take, let's say that you're building a necklace and the necklace has a series of colored beads. In order to have a complete necklace, you have to have, let's just say 10 beads. The numbers doesn't matter, but you have to have 10 beads, all of different colors, right? And if you don't have all 10 beads, it's not a necklace. So it doesn't work as a necklace. And what if you had 100 of every color bead, but only one of yellow? You could only build one necklace. Doesn't matter how much you have of these other ones, you have to have one of each of them to make. So that's called a complete protein. And you have to have all the amino acids in order to build the complete protein. So when you eat certain protein sources, they have certain types of amino acids. Well, what we have found is that even though you can get all your branched chain amino acids from steak, they don't have the quantities of two, leucine and isoleucine. Those are the most expensive as well. So in order to get enough leucine, in order to really to build muscle at an optimal amount, you'd have to eat like 5 steaks. Okay, so now the downside to 5 steaks is you've got all that red meat in your system, you're full, and not to mention all the calories. Now the first steak's probably great, but by the time you're getting to the fifth, you're like not interested. So it's actually not feasible to get the branched chain amino acids from food. So if you supplement it, you can supplement it with the right amounts of the branched chain amino acids, so it creates all the colored beads. So those necklaces are being built like crazy, nonstop. Any questions so far? Okay, it's good. Okay, and so what we've done is with the 5-in-1, you're getting 100 to 120 grams of protein every day. I mean, you're getting an ample amount of protein for just traditional living. And when you add exercise, though, you're breaking things down quicker, which means that there'll be a little bit of a deficit. And if you exercise a lot, then it can't keep up with the rebuilding process. Your body starts to develop extra hunger, and your body says, we're not getting enough of what we need. We're trying to burn fat, but we're also having all this expenditure. We're just going to shut down and help her get through the exercise, but we're not going to lose weight right now. We got too many balls in the air. Something's going to break. We're going to focus. We're going to prioritize. And weight loss becomes the last of the priority, right? And that's what you're experiencing, correct? Many people. Yeah, it's exactly the same thing. So what we have figured out is if we add a branched chain amino acid supplement to the 5-in-1, it fills in the nutritional gap and you can exercise. I haven't been able to out-exercise it. I have a client that burns 1,000 calories an hour in a high CrossFit high intensity class and is fully in fat burn. Pretty crazy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's you. What's up, girl? Get some, right?
So how do I get to that? How do I get there?
Yeah, I'll send you the link. It's not sold in stores. It's a premium product. And I'll tell you just a little bit about DotFit. DotFit was created, I don't know the guy's last name. Neil is his first name, been around forever. And he's like the granddaddy of the science of it. And when he creates a product, he does all the research. Like he reads every piece of research on whatever it is. And then he takes it all together and formulates it into a formula without price being a factor.
Okay.
He just makes it, and whatever it costs, right? So it's not the cheapest one, but it's 100% effective. So to me, I don't mind the price. I'd rather, if I were to buy something that was 50% cheaper, but only got 1% the results, that's actually quite expensive. If you think about it. And it's not, I mean, I think it's like $55 for a can of it. It's not like $3,000 or anything.
So how are you getting it now? Is it like
so I'll send you a link to it, and then you can purchase it online, and they just drop ship it right to you. And so what happens with this is a lot of people will ask me, well, how do I use it? I said, here's the beauty. It's written on the directions on the container. Okay. It's nothing special. You just follow the instructions, do your 5-in-1 and follow the instructions, and guess what? Go work out. And what it will do, I was talking to Gina Eccles, and she said that when she was doing some fine-tuning stuff on the 5-in-1, and she likes to exercise as well, she forgot her amino boost back on the mainland, and she was in Hawaii. So she went to GNC and she bought some branched chain amino acids. She said, I was so hungry. It wasn't, something was different. So she had some amino boost sent to her, immediately kicked out her hunger. And so not only does it fill in the gaps of hunger, but it also allows you to exercise. And here's the magic that I was talking about earlier. It's 4 calories. When you consume the branched chain amino acids, it's only 4 calories. But once it gets into your body, it builds 20 grams. Trying to think of the right analogy. Those little necklaces. It builds 20 grams of protein. Now,
Okay.
1 gram of protein is 4 calories. So 20, that'd be 80 calories. This is 4 calories because your body puts the protein together inside.
Okay.
So it doesn't pull, it's not calories you're eating. It's,
Is there
I don't
a
know, it's,
best time? Is there a best time to use it? Morning,
yes.
afternoon, before workout, after workout? Which would be best?
It's
You have
written
it?
right on the can.
Okay. All right.
Isn't that brilliant?
Yeah. So I
I
can't
take
mess
it
it up.
before, during, and after. Quite frankly, I just drink it while I'm working out.
Okay.
But sometimes we'll have a half a thing before, half a thing afterwards, you
Okay.
know. But yeah, follow the instructions. You can't drink too much of it. It doesn't. There's no downside.
Okay.
You just have too many amino acids. Well, your body just stores what it can and it gets rid of the rest.
Hold on.
So anyway, so that's what I've been done, and sometimes I think, well, for any question that people have, hunger, exercise, whatever, you always say amino acid is the solution. And I hate to say that because it seems magical or it seems like it's not real, but it is. It's weird. And I'm so not one of those one size fits all, like, hyping kind of person. So I had my wife, I'll tell you just two anecdotal stories. My wife has had some problems with her back for a long time, long time. And it's just, she gets massage. I'm a massage therapist. I give her massage. She gets massage, chiropractic, whatever. And I said, well, why don't you just try this? It tastes like blue raspberry. And so you'll probably like the flavor. They've got 4 flavors. And I said, but just try it. And she drank one a day for 3 days. And she was sitting on the couch and we were watching some TV and she was doing her crochet and she goes, wait a minute. And my wife's the type of person that only notices when things are not normal, when they're bad. She doesn't, it's not as obvious to her when things are really good because things should be good. And that's good, right? And she goes, wait a minute. She moves around and she goes, my back's not hurting. And I was like, well, what did you change? Well, I started drinking that amino boost that you told me about 3 days ago.
Mhm.
And I was like, okay, interesting. I had another coach that had a frozen shoulder. She's in the medical industry. And I went and did some massage on it at a convention. And I told her, get some amino boost. A few days later, it was gone. And so what was happening is her body was trying to create those necklaces, but it had very few red beads, and so it wasn't able to make the complete protein to then go in and start to repair stuff. Because without
Mhm.
protein, nothing grows.
Well, let me ask you if I could. Do you take it every single day, even on your off day, your rest day? You
Are
still
you, so question for you, is
okay?
your body recovering on a rest day?
No, I'm still like we're still walking. We're still
But think
like
about it. Why are you taking a rest day if you're not recovering?
that's true.
Isn't rest for recovery?
Yeah, I guess for me though, resting and relaxing has to do with either being out on the water or walking
Yeah, but you're
outside.
not pumping iron on your rest
No,
days. You're
no.
doing an
Yeah,
active
it's active.
recreation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
actually,
yeah.
yeah, it's not for
So
time.
so what my recommendation for you is, on days you're working out, is there ever a day when your body is not trying to repair itself? If you lead an active lifestyle, it's kind of a everyday thing,
Right.
especially if you're 5 and 1ing it,
Okay.
you know? Yeah, so that's what I've used. And I've been doing this now for about 3 years. And I do a type of strength training called high intensity super slow motion. The reason why I love it, and you might check into it, where are you at? Where do you live?
Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Bowling Green, Kentucky. I've done a 10K there, the Bowling Green 10K.
Classic. Have the classic.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I raced that year. Oh man, that's been 20 years ago. Um, anyhow, what a wonderful place. So I was going to say they might have some trainers that do this modality, but it's super slow motion, high intensity. The beauty that I love about it, it's one day a week. It takes 20 minutes. and every week you get
Oh,
stronger. So when I tell my clients that, they say, well, even I can find time to do that. And I was like, yeah. So we just took the time constraint. And guess what? If you're getting strong in your whole body
mhm.
1 day a week for 20 minutes, then the rest of the week you can be on the kayak, or you can be playing volleyball,
Right.
or you can be doing all these other fun activities. For me, I ride my bike, or I go off-roading, or I do whatever. And I don't have to sit in the gym lifting weights 4 days a week. Now, it's not better than
Right.
4 to 5 days a week training. Doesn't get you any better results, but it's 20 minutes,
Mhm.
folks. To me, I think that's fantastically better results because I get to be outdoors. So my wife did this training. She's been doing it for 9 months. And with 2 weeks notice, she got invited to go with me to Moab to do a 3-day hiking trip where we hiked 26 miles, 1,000 feet per day over 3 days. And she hadn't hiked a mile in a year. All
Wow.
she was doing was 1 day a week, strength training. She kept up with a lady that does Pilates and walks 8 miles per day. No
Can you
problem.
send me what that is also when you send
Yeah,
me the link? So
write
I can get
write this name, Dr. McGuff, McGuff, and then a
okay.
book called Body by Science. And it's pretty technical, but you can
Hmm.
get kind of a gist of it. But Dr. McGuff has a search engine for his
Are there
website.
footnotes?
Huh? Yeah.
Is
Well,
there
there's a
cliff notes?
search engine where you can find if there's a trainer close to you, and then usually um, the first two sessions are free, and they're all pretty similar. But what I found, because you're looking at coaching, the super slow motion gyms are amazing partners because their philosophy is Optavia's philosophy. We want to be strong for life, not so that we can be weightlifters, so we can be kayakers and backpackers and jumpers and whatever else you want to do with that fit body of yours. And so I've been having a fantastic time referring my clients to these super slow motion gyms and then building relationships with them because they can write nutrition plans all day long and 1 out of 30 actually gets read. So they have a 99% failure rate when they write a nutrition plan because the logistics of it just aren't compatible. So they
How is
want
it?
what Optavia champions and we want what they champion, which is being fit and healthy for a life that you will live.
Right.
So
So
this is
how does it
so.
work? I'm sorry.
Go ahead, China.
I was just going to say, with this particular, I'm just curious, with this particular workout, I have a son who has bulging discs and stuff like that, but has lost a ton of weight and wants to get strong,
Mm-hmm.
build his core. Would this be something that he could do, or would it be something for him to look into?
Yeah, the neat thing is that you max out within 6 reps, but each rep is 20 seconds. So if
Okay.
you're going super slow motion, the weight is not actually that heavy,
Gotcha.
right? And so it's actually the safest form of exercise. There's no momentum involved. So it's super safe and yet super effective and condensed. It's about 4 hours worth of pain in 20 minutes. I will let you know it is rough.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
Craig,
I
this
like
this
the
uh,
balance.
this reminds me of a study done in Australia of people that worked out consistently for longer periods every day, and then people worked with very small amounts of time, very small days, but such high intensity that their fitness level and their strength level skyrocketed above the people that were doing the long-term consistent.
Mhm.
So one thing while we've got Craig on the line, Charna, and so what we have noticed, and Charna, this is just another glimpse into our community of what we do, right, for how we support each other. But Charna has, she's just going to start her coaching practice, and she's got a great communication style, and she's got a leadership kind of quality about her. What would you tell her about your experience coaching and building your coaching practice that you could give her another glimpse
Mm-hmm.
of values that it's brought into your life?
Yeah, it's the by the way, that is super exciting, Charna. Like the life you have, um, the life you have for life. I don't know if that even makes sense, but you can just see that you want to go experience life. Like you want to be out and with people and doing stuff, and it's you're built for it. And to be able to have and when I say Optiv, I don't mean 5-in-1, and I don't mean a s'more crunch. That's not what I mean, right? Although s'more crunches are pretty tasty. What I mean is the philosophy on winning in life, and not winning by yourself, but winning with community, winning with others, partnering. And so it's super, super amazing to see how we can come alongside someone and we're able to be, it's like we have, it's like there's a trailer full of tools and awesome things that we leave outside and then when we start talking to people, they're like, well, I have this problem with this tree in my backyard. And you're like, I've got a chainsaw. And then they're like, well, there's this problem, I have this problem that I with this plumbing thing. And you're like, I've got some pipe, and so as you're talking to people, everybody has what I'd call, and what Tim calls, vacancies. They have things that they wish were better. This is not as good as I'd like it to be. And so we're able to come along and say, wow, thanks for sharing that with me. I wonder if we worked on that together, what we could accomplish. Because I'm working on some of those same things. And that at its root is you show up with your heart, and then you let your heart get to know their heart, and they shake hands, and eventually they hug, and then you go, let's go do some stuff. And we figure out how to get through the stuff. And oftentimes the biggest challenge I have with coaching is you start with a big vision, and then you get some tools, and then you lose your focus on the vision, and you're just focused on the tools. Like, why am I even holding this pen in the first place? And then you stop and you get back with your community, and they go, because you're writing a poem. Oh, that's why this pen is worth it, right? And then you get back to writing, and your heart comes out on the paper. And so for us, when we're chasing after our health, sometimes we get focused on the water, or focused on the fueling, or focused on the whatever, and we forget the fact we have to just constantly be going. It's almost like vision and 30,000 foot view, 3-inch view, back to 30,000 foot, back to because the mechanics matter, but they're irrelevant without the your vision and your desires of what you're really doing. So that's what I would say. It's just reminding myself that, of continue to remind yourself about why you're doing it. And I'll finish off with this. When someone goes to Disneyland and they're driving, nobody wants to sit in a car for that long, but many people endure it because Disneyland, right? Whatever that means to you. It's memories, it's excitement, it's new experiences, it's all that. And so you're driving in the car and you're like, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Well, nobody gets half the way there and turns around and goes home, because they're just so clear on what Disneyland is going to happen to them. And I guess the only thing I can say is that with life, it's like traveling. You're like constantly traveling to Disneyland. And so it's not like a weekend experience. It's life. And so it takes a constant, it's almost like we need to create a brochure of our values and have it in our back pocket. And when things get a little rough, we pull out the brochure and we go, oh yeah, Grand Canyon. Oh yeah, volleyball. Oh yeah, this. And then it just kind of gets us focused again, and our vision and our desire just is so it's refreshed. And then we're like, yep, I'm drinking my water today. Because as soon as you stop having value for the thing, you will stop doing the thing. Always. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if does that help? Does that make sense to you, Charna?
It does. It really does.
And Charna, there are so many people out there. There are millions of people out there that need a conversation like this. But the only way that's going to happen is the very things that were helping you and supporting you solve in your own life, you're going to unlock hundreds of those for other people. And all the other things that were a concern for you, that you had a concern, what in many categories, maybe to bring in income, to use your life skills to impact, to create this awesome health for you long term, all those things will be solved, as you know, and basically you'll have all those things, and we'll do it together. And I think for you, like, it's just been a pleasure to, from the first conversation we had, and then you getting Leslie, and now me, and now you get to see Craig. And so are you starting to see the value a little bit?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, the value just in finally getting results after 30 years of, you know, struggling with it. And then to see it, my husband, my 60-year-old husband, you know, is lost 40 something pounds. And then my son, who has back issues and always has, and he's down 67 pounds. Like, and he's loving life again. And he's, you know, just, we all just have this excitement for it. And then to, like, all of you guys in there encouraging and like cheering and helping and reminding me, just like I really needed that reminder just now, Craig, you know, that I'm halfway there, because I've really been stuck in that halfway thinking I'm just going to turn around and go home.
Yeah.
So, you know,
and Mickey's going, what? Get over here.
So, yeah, no, that was the exact analogy I needed. The Lord knew I needed to hear that today. So,
oh, good.
I need to get back in the car and gas up.
Yeah. Well, and you think about, pull out the brochure and think about which ride are you going to ride first. I mean, think about it. This is really helps me. So when you get to Disneyland, because you will, what's the first ride you're going to ride on? And when you're on that ride, you're going to hold on to the bar. You're going to have your hands in the air. And who's going to be next to you? You know, I mean, think about these things. Visualize you being at 138. And now my body moves like this, and it does that better. And oh my goodness, I can play softball 24 hours a day.
And it's not the number, it's what the journey and the knowledge and the lifestyle created for you. Mm-hmm. The number really is irrelevant, because if people have the wrong focus, they get to 138 and they're not happy.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, because so it's this bigger picture. And you know what? Just the tone of your voice, Charna, and the look on your face is so different. It's pretty exciting.
Well, thanks.
It's like you like you kind of softened and you relaxed, and it's like you softened and yet became more powerful, sort of at the same time. It was awesome to watch.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate the help, guys.
Yep. So I sent Tim the links for the super slow-mo and for the amino boost stuff, and so you guys can go check those two things out. And it's really been a amazing help for me and for my clients. That it used to be we had to do one or the other, and then we'd start monkeying with the 5 and 1, and we do the 4 and 2, and then 4, 2 and 1, and then we do this, and we'd add extra protein. And so now the calories are always affected when we do that, right? And so we're
take it back to the basic 5 and 1.
Straight 5 and 1 with amino boost, and boom! Just buckle up, girl.
All right.
I'm gonna send all that stuff to you guys in just a couple of minutes.
Okay.
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 Thank you, Charna. Do you feel better, Charna?
I do. Yeah. Thanks.
This is inevitable.
Volleyball.
Yep. It's inevitable. You're going to get to that goal weight and you're going to be different. And then you're going to see, well, now that I have the sports car body, where am I going to drive it? Right? Is the top up or going to be the top down? I don't know. I don't even know what, don't read into that. I don't even know what that means, but you know what I mean?
That's right. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm curious, as your husband and you are both losing weight together, I wonder how the just the simplest thing like a hug, how different that is now. Right? Isn't it closer?
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's just the whole thing. He's gotten more active too. He started sitting out of volleyball and out playing and not having any energy. And now he's, just where he's walking the hills with me. That's what's gotten me doing that. Is I know it's getting him out, but he really needs to add some strength training in. And that's exactly what I was trying to figure out. Like, how do we get some strength training in for him? Because it's, at our age, that's what we need. So anyway, I just was thinking, so I will definitely look into that. But yeah, I think just in general, our family is happier and healthier and and just enjoying this new phase that we're in, because we haven't, it's always been a struggle of, feeling guilty about food and wondering and trying and exercising harder. So.
Well, you're probably the norm. And so what you are experiencing and now no longer struggling, but battling for, is you are going to be such a voice to other people that you will know exactly how they feel and you'll be able to connect with them. You'll be like, exercise, yeah, problem, yeah, okay, yeah, okay, let's go talk. Because you just know them, right?
Right.
Yeah, way to go. Oof, so exciting.
Thank you. Appreciate everybody taking the time for me today and helping me with this.
Pleasure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Craig. Thank you, Leslie.